what would happen? What would happen? And that's great. I really do admire it to companies that are doing that. What happens when the performance, if the performance, or when the performance does go down? Will you change it? Because I spoke to someone yesterday about, and I said to him, I'll be really worried. And their answer to me was, Mark, it's not fixed. It's a benefit. The employees see it as a benefit. They see the hybrid work and they see the model as a benefit. If you wanted to change that and you could bring them back. And I was thinking, oh, okay, I'd be worried. So I've embraced hybrid working now. I've told you, kicking and screaming, Bob. Mondays and Fridays now are at home for everyone, which I don't like, but everyone likes, which is great. I am really pleased, and it's a trial for us. Yeah. But what happens if it doesn't? What happens if it goes wrong?
Do you know what? We just don't know. We don't know is the answer.
The listeners want that answer.
I could sit here and I could give you all kinds of answers. I could say, oh, we'll do this and this will happen. Truth is, we don't know. We're taking it day by day. We're sitting there, we're analysing. We're still learning. No one in the industry has done this. No one, even outside of the industry, not a lot of people outside the industry in the UK have done this. There's a nationwide trial that was happening that started about 2 or 3 months after we started our trial. Yeah. And they're still learning, So I think we're at a stage where we all have to learn. The more people that embrace it, at least on a trial basis, the more data we've got, the more we can say, actually it works, or it's terrible, and these are the reasons why, or this is what we need to change. But for us, our model, because you've got to bear in mind, for anyone that doesn't know, we're a 100% remote company anyway. We don't have offices. So for us, this is an extension of our overall wellbeing program. We're saying to people, we already trust you enough to work from home all the time. Now we're trusting you enough to say, we think you can do the same amount of work or more in one day less.
How do you monitor the culture? So when I hear about, and I mentioned to you offline, I'm a big fan of the office. Yeah. I think that's because I don't want to be at home half the time. So I struggle to work at home, really, really do. I need a bit of a routine to actually come in to feel like I'm doing something. How do you get the culture and you don't lose the culture? Because one of the things I was worried about when we were going to go hybrid was, we're going to lose the culture. We're going to lose that camaraderie. We're going to lose the water cooler moments. Yeah. Sorry. How do you maintain the culture if you're all from home all the time anyway and you don't get a chance to see each other regularly?
The funny thing is, we're not a company that has moved to remote working because COVID made us. So we've always been a remote working organisation. So our culture has been created in that way. It's not something we've had to adapt to. So I think anyone who's trying to adapt to it, having been fully in the office and now they're trying to go hybrid or remote, they've got some challenges. They're going to challenge to either maintain the culture or even if they're going to try and improve it. But for us, we've created our culture in that environment. So it's not a big adaptation for us. It's not something where we have to reinvent something because nothing's broken for us. We created it in a certain way. And now all we've got is our own bar that we've set at whatever level. And now it either stays there or we enhance it.
If you get a new employee join, and for instance, you employed myself, I'm unemployable, by the way, but if you did employ me, how would you know if I'm fitting the culture or not, if I'm at home?
So I think the first thing that you've got to look at for anyone coming into our model, I mean, we don't do mass recruitment. It's almost unheard of. There's no bums on seats for the sake of it. We really have to understand and qualify if that person is at the right stage of their life to be joining that type of environment, and if that's what's really going to work for them. So, I mean, it's tough with juniors, grads, whatever you want to call them. I don't think I could bring someone in currently, right now, into our current model. It wouldn't work. I wouldn't know how to make it work. I would probably be doing that person a disservice in not letting them work in an environment like an office. There's so much to learn and there's so much to gain from it that it wouldn't be right. But if you find someone who's a family person, who's got a couple of kids and they put a lot of value on getting good quality time with them, the commute was killing them in their last place, and they're the type of person that not maybe an extrovert that needs to be around other people. They like just getting their job done, earning good money, and then getting to enjoy their life. Then that's the right type of person for us. I wouldn't say everyone's the right type of person for us, but that's why we don't employ everyone.
We've talked a lot around the subject around diversity in previous channel chats. We talked about it quite a bit at the channel chat live. You've been quite vocal about the benefits of having a diverse workforce. So can you expand on that? Why you think it's important? Why is it important we have a diverse workforce?
From my side of things, I think it's good, first of all, from a leadership perspective, that we have a good bit of diversity in there, because it shows that it's not the same old types of faces. It's not the stereotypical group of gentlemen's clubs that you might expect. I think it's nice from a leadership perspective. So there's three of us, and we tick quite a few of the diversity boxes between us, and I think that straight away shows that it's an environment where we would like to bring in other people that resemble us, whether it's from an age side of things or gender and ethnic backgrounds. I mean, we're currently at a point where I think we're 37% females in the organisation, and the same percentage of people that qualify for coming from an ethnic background, which is diverse enough. But I would say the reason why it's important, that's where we are, but the reason why it's important is you get so many different opinions. You get you get feedback, and we really do encourage it. We probably encourage it more than perhaps we should, or maybe others do. But we want to hear from people. We want to know what they think. What are things that we're doing well? What do we need to improve? What direction do they want to see us going in? And if all you've got are the same types of people in an organization, you're probably only going to get the same types of opinions. But if you've got people that come from different backgrounds, see things from a different set of eyes, you get a different set of answers.
And how do you attract that? Because if you've had it where you've had, I remember a few years back, we had quite a boys' club here at Robertson Sumner. It was quite challenging. It was, we only had 2 or 3 females. I think actually Amy was one of the first females that joined, and it was quite difficult to attract females into our culture. And we've tried to evolve and attract females. But how do you think companies can, if they've got a culture of, I'm not going to call it toxic masculinity, but it's quite a boys' club, it's quite boisterous, it's quite competitive. Some females or from people from diverse backgrounds might not want to join that. How can you change it straight away?
I think it's not even something that we didn't sit down and prepare for these, but I think if you can bring someone in from either a diverse background or whatever the things that you're trying to look at, if you can bring them in at a top level, you can bring them in at a leadership level, I think straight away what happens then is you're saying, not only do we embrace this, we embrace it at the highest level. You're not doing a box ticking exercise and bringing someone in at the most junior level, and now you can tick a box and say, this is, now we're a fair and diverse and inclusive employer. Bring someone in at the top. If you can do that, then I think what it shows is that you're willing to give them a seat at the table. And then I think other people that are from either similar backgrounds or whatever diversity they represent will then want to work in a company where you have people like that at the top. They can see it's possible for them as well, or they maybe want to mentor in that person because they can see it. So I think bringing them in at the top level rather than at the lowest levels.
Do you think that can, again, I haven't prepped you for this, Bob.
No,
I'm going to challenge you on that thinking, and it's a great one. Do you think that's quite challenging in terms of the people below them were thinking, do you know what, we've brought in Jane Bloggs, or we brought this person from this background to tick that diversity box, to almost sort of like that positive discrimination where we're saying, actually, we're going to bring in this person because we think it's the right thing to do. And people below are thinking they're just getting the job because they're ticking the box.
Oh, it always has to be on merit. It has to be on the candidate. But I think if you're doing it with an open mind, you're going in there saying, if we can find the right candidate, someone who ticks all the boxes for us from what they're able to do, from their background, their skills, and it just happens to also be someone from a diverse background, then that's a good thing, right? But I don't know about positive discrimination. I think it's more a case of saying we would like to bring in someone senior that's got a career behind them in doing this. They've got a proven track record, and we're going to bring them in at the highest level because we think they will add value to the business, not because we think that they will make us look good.